this episode of The Secret Sauce, I have invited Harold Lubedink, who is the CEO of Happy Holiday Homes. Happy Holiday Homes has 1,500 properties throughout Europe, and they have grown by opening their own offices and also through franchise. So I had some questions about the franchise model for Harold. He also tells me that he thinks that his technology is giving him a real competitive advantage and helps him recruit owners. So we're going to hear all about that, both on podcast and on YouTube. See you on the other side. Hi, I'm Vanessa from Rentals United. We are a channel manager, specialized channel manager for vacation rentals. And I'm also the host of The Secret Sauce. If you have any feedback for me on the questions that I ask the CEOs of large property management companies, please don't hesitate and send me your feedback, vanessa@rentalsunited.com. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Harold from happy.rentals. And welcome to the show, Harold.
Hello, hi Vanessa. How are you doing?
Very good, very good. Happy to have you. You are in Lugano, Switzerland, correct?
That's right. Yeah, in Switzerland, south of Switzerland, indeed. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Italian-speaking part.
Super, super. So you eat well, I bet.
I do eat well, yeah. It's actually only 10 kilometers away from Italy, so
great.
That's a good part of it.
Wonderful, wonderful. So for those people who don't know Happy Rentals, please can you tell me a little bit about, well, in fact, let's start with you. Who are you? What were you doing just before Happy Rentals? And what is your position now at Happy Rentals?
Okay, so I'm actually Dutch originally. I actually lived in Holland 21 years before I actually left Holland some 30 years ago, so you can count. And went to live in Italy. Actually, I studied for business administration, technical business administration. So went to work in chemicals, something completely different. Lived in Milan 12 years, working in chemicals in Bayer, and then a big company called Solutia, actually, an ex-Monsanto company. So a very, very different business. And that company started to move me around. So actually, after Milan, left to England 3 years, lived in Belgium 3 years. And then thought we had to take our life back in hand, because otherwise the expat life would have taken over for a long time. And yeah, I actually have this little house on the seaside in Italy, which we have as a family house. And I started to rent it out, maybe like 4, 5, 6 years before we came back. And I found out it rents like crazy, so very easy. But then the property management part of it came out to be very difficult. I mean, the neighbors, calling the neighbors for the keys and arrivals, departures, welcome packs, and oh, should I be there? And something happens. I found the property management to be very difficult. And I thought to myself, this property management part, which actually is not existing in Italy, is something that actually more people must struggle with. They have a second home and actually don't enjoy it. They don't want to go there for a weekend, because going a weekend means working for a weekend, or going there for a week even means working for a week. So I started to think about opening a company to property manage houses, actually, for owners, just owners who could afford a house for, I don't know, 300,000, million, 2 million, 3 million, whatever it is. They must want somebody to take care of it. And I know in England, where you're from, that's actually a normal thing. That's actually property management is a word that exists. In Italy, it doesn't exist. You sell homes, or you actually manage the condominium, that's at the outside areas, but nobody actually manages the inside areas, at least when we started in 2006. By pure chance, we started in Lake Como. So Lake Como, I say pure chance because that was like the start of actually the comeback of Lake Como. It used to be a very famous place in the year 00 and 1900. And then it used to be very famous in the 70s again. The Milanese bought it all up and bought all the houses on the lake, then forgot about it again. Granny left some keys somewhere, some keys of some Milanese people, and they found it back again when Clooney came to live there. We call it the Clooney effect. He started a big Mexican wave of investments, let's say. He just lifted the hands one, and then it went around and round, rounds of investments, people actually buying homes, their villas, apartments, whatever it is, to actually make their second homes. And they invested in it big time. So an abandoned, forgotten place became really, really beautiful again. 2007 we started the company. We started property managing actually on Lake Como. And we opened in Lugano the rental company actually. So the rental company is actually called Happy Holiday Homes. That's our tour operator. And right from the beginning we started with an Italian company doing the property management. We also started to be quite good in sales as well, because of course, as you know, property management rentals, automatically sales comes in the picture with owners wanting to resell or actually want to buy another one because it goes very well, and guests coming in and wanted to buy a house because, you know, if you manage it properly and they enjoy it, they have a tendency to buy one or two or three. And we also did the refurbishing for people. So once you buy, you also need a real good partner to help refurbishing, because it can be extremely nice, but it can also be a real nightmare on a distance to refurbish. And we made a real big program of entertainment around having the rentals. You know, the concierge service is very important. So Lake Como actually need a concierge. It doesn't need just like links to actually suppliers of services. You actually need to concierge them, because the language is not always the best and everything. So that was our start in Lake Como. At the end, we ended to manage about 430 homes on Lake Como, all exclusively, and rented them out. When we started to in the same business also in Lugano City, which I thought, well, I don't know if that would ever work, because it's not a real touristy area. It's a mix of tourist and business, but actually it's a very good area. It's actually filling up in the summertime with guests for holidays, and in wintertime and off season, it's actually more people coming for business or for hospitals, schools, American school. There's all kinds of stuff going on here, conferences as well. So it's actually a very good city we started in. And by the time, sorry, I'm answering all the questions by the time. You don't have to ask anything, right?
Go for it.
Okay. So we started to think about enlarging to new areas. So how to do that? Because we have created from scratch actually our own property management system. I don't know if you know, but in 2007-8, there was nothing available on the shelf to buy. So we have a programmer now since 12 years actually developing our system. Totally, we have 5 programmers now actually, but he was the one who started. He's still the lead programmer. And well, as we have this whole system created for it, so we have actually made from A to Z everything automated what we could. Well, we thought about how can we go to different areas and actually enlarge at least the property management and rentals side. So to start off with, we thought about a franchise model. Then we actually decided to open our own offices to be able to actually see what's running and what's not running, actually what's good for franchisees and what's not good for franchisees. So we opened 10 offices ourselves in 2017. Actually property management offices, just in different areas. We thought after a very profound research just by Tommy Feeling, what might be the best areas. We opened 10 offices in 2017, and we opened a back office in India actually. So we have our own office in India, our own company in India, with about 20 people working for the automation. So we have 4 programmers there for payments as well, because there's a lot of, as you know, back and forth of payments. People pay us, and we have to pay owners. And we have there also the data entry people, because not everything is programmable yet. So whatever is not programmable, we have actually people putting there into systems. So it's part of a manual automation, let's say. That's India. So we opened 5 units in India. In Italy. We opened Alassio in Liguria. We opened Forte dei Marmi in Tuscany, 2 locations actually in Garda, south and north, Desenzano and Riva, and we opened the location in Maggiore, Lake Maggiore. Then we opened, well, Lugano was open already. We opened Locarno in Switzerland, not far away from Lugano on Lake Maggiore, and a small place in close to Verbier. And lucky enough, actually, these things were all kind of happening, and we opened Chamonix as well in France, which was a pure chance. Actually, we opened there, but it turned out to be the best opening. Actually, Chamonix was a very interesting is a very interesting location because it has really 2 seasons. Everybody talks about 2 seasons, but there you really have 2 seasons. Actually, the summer is more busy than the winter time. So that's Chamonix. So yes, we opened these offices. Normally we open with 2 people. We have our own company doing that. So the people actually work locally for a local company, and well, just gather homes. That's the real thing. Gather good homes, put the homes in our system. We have our own photographer working for us, who actually makes photos, and then we normally are on about well, you know, the 30 sites possible, Booking.com and Airbnb, down to holiday lettings and rentals on the way on all these sites within a week time. So when we open up, yeah. So we have linked, yeah. Okay, so now it's up to you.
Wow.
little introduction.
You touched on a lot of things I actually want to talk about with you. So that's wonderful. You seem to have a great business. But I'd like to know, so let's go back to the offices, right? So you decided to scale from Como, from Lugano, by opening offices around these areas, also in France, and you opened 10 offices. So how did you do your research about which offices to open? I mean, these are very crowded markets, I expect, right? So, I mean, Chamonix must be very crowded. So, is the trick to actually open an office, and by having your sign on a physical building, that suddenly you're going to see traction and you're going to see owners wanting to work with you? Or what is the trick in doing this very well?
Unfortunately, or fortunately, we did not do much research. Actually, it was more gut feeling where to open. That's the real fact. We knew Como was working very well. We knew Lugano was working very well. We have actually a franchisee actually since a long time in Livigno, so it's an Italian side, and it also works very well. So we had a feeling of, okay, wherever we work, we are actually able to get traction, to get owners in. And the strange thing in Italy is that actually there is not much available in terms of property management still in the touristic areas, because again, people tend to sell houses and manage a condominium, but managing inside the house and do the property management and the rentals on a professional level, that's very rare. So some owners, of course, as you know, go on Airbnb to do it themselves. And we also find some real estate agents who do the seasonal rental that we find. And we find some couples here and there who actually have maybe 10 houses, their own house, and their friends and neighbors, and they start to manage and rent their neighbors' houses as well. And they end up with approximately 20 houses. Then they get overwhelmed by legislations, because of course maybe your own house and 2 more you can still do under the table, but then you start to be visible in the little village, and there's more and more legislations now. For example, in Italy, there's a real amount of things now you have to actually register your house for, like in Spain as well. As you know, you have to register your house for rentals. You also have to pay tourist tax for all your guests, which seems a very simple thing, but you still have to organize that. Then you have to actually, every guest coming in, you have to declare to the Questura, to the police office, at 10 o'clock the next day. So actually 12 o'clock. That's actually something which is easy if you have automated it, but it's very hard work if you don't automate it, or you just don't do it, but you take a big risk. And then of course you have to hire cleaners or cleaning company. You have to hire bed linen. You have to have a warehouse. You have to actually get organized in a certain way that if you have 20 homes, you go completely crazy. You go really, you don't know where to start and end. The season is like maybe 20 hours work per day, and one side you bring a baby bed, the other side you have a booking maybe coming in, and you have somebody want to pay, and it's a real hassle. That so those people we find, but we don't find real organized organizations who do our job. Exceptionally, yes. Of course, Chamonix, you can imagine, it's very different. There's actually a place where property management is existing, because the Brits have been there since always. I think they discovered it 200 years ago, and they put their bases there. So property management actually exists in Chamonix. That was a bit of a bet. So, okay, are we able to start as well in a place where it actually exists? And we found also there not many big companies. Actually, the biggest one actually there has about 80 homes, which is which is quite surprising. And there's many small and also very many who don't want to do that job. They actually do it because they want to sell homes, and to sell a home, you often have to offer our services, property management and rental. Otherwise, people don't want to buy the house, because you can imagine British people don't buy a house if there's no property management and rentals in place, because it's not the second home, it's the fifth or sixth or seventh home they have. So they don't want trouble with it.
So you have an offering for the real estate agents as well. You partner with them.
We try to partner with real estate agents. Yeah, not always very easy, because they are normally very jealous about their owners. Although they don't do our job, they still are jealous about it. But we took over quite a good package of owners from 2 real estate agents, actually, who didn't want to do our job. They were doing it in a very unprofessional way, by all means. They're very nice people, but they had the guest from before cleaning for the next one. They had to, yeah, you're laughing, but it's 2 years ago. They had their guests bring the bed linen. So you can imagine, from England, you got to bring your luggage with bed linen or buy it locally. And do Saturday only, which is completely out of date now, definitely in that area. People fly in there so often, so it's not like a Saturday area at all. So that's Chamonix. So we actually have 2.5 years down the lane. We have 240 homes there now, which are running really well, and they have long seasons. So for us, Chamonix is a real good area. It's a real good area.
How many properties you have in total now that you manage?
We have about 1,500 properties now, 1,500. Yeah.
Well done. And so you mentioned franchise. So this is a big word at the moment in the industry. Everybody's saying this is one of the ways to grow, and we're going to see more and more of it. My experience is I have met a property manager who has done franchise in the past, some time ago, and he wasn't successful at it. So I was hoping that you're going to tell me a different story, and that you are actually successful with franchising. How many franchises do you have today?
Well, I tell you the story because I also started to think about franchise in the first place about 5-6 years ago. Rather than opening ourselves, the idea was to franchise. But to be able to franchise, you have to have a real good model. If you walk into a McDonald's which is franchised or a owned McDonald's, you should not notice a difference, which is something that well, I didn't know, or I just didn't put in place. So the first 3 or 4 franchisees we had, they did their own thing. They just did whatever they wanted, put their own names outside. One was also selling homes. The other one was, the other one actually has a ski school. And it's something that that if you don't define it properly, it just won't work. You have to really define it properly. So for us, it was actually important to do our own offices, to see how it works, to make copy and paste models. Only with that, we are able to do a partnership. We call it partnership because it's not a franchise. People don't pay a franchise fee, but they become partners and do the property management together with us. Now we are really able to do that. So we're starting 3 new ones now. We opened Alba this year. Alba is in a little village in the Piedmont area. So it's not a very touristy area, but an upcoming market. And so that's the real thing. We are opening 2 in Spain at the moment, actually. One in Marbella down in south, and one in Tenerife as well. And that is a way forward. I don't say that. It's a very, very nice way forward. It's a dream for the property manager, in my opinion, because what we offer to the property manager is something that I always looked for in Lake Como. If it be possible for me to stay in Lake Como and have somebody else to bring me in the guests, I'll be more than happy. That'll be fantastic, because I just wanted to property manage. I wanted to sell homes. I wanted to entertain my guests as well. Not that you make much money on that, but you make a lot of goodwill. You create a lot of goodwill with that, and refurbishing too. I like to be more central on my unit, on my area, but don't get involved in the bookings, in the payments, in the marketing, and all the systems. Let's say that was my dream in the beginning. I didn't find this, but we actually offer that now. So we offer to people who actually have maybe 20 homes and go crazy, have a normal life with 200, 250, 300 homes, which seems very strange, because it's actually 10 times more or 15 times more. But with 15 times more, maybe you have 2 or 3 employees, and you can actually manage to go on holiday too sometimes yourself, and you have to have a normal life. You can have a normal life, and if you're maybe not there for a month, the whole thing doesn't collapse. It doesn't depend on you. There's one person who manages 20 homes, but actually you have a company behind it then, and you only have to do a little part of the job. Actually, it seems like a lot because you have to get the homes, you have to organize the homes and clean them and make sure they're fine for the owner and fine for the guests. But at the end, if you automate that a lot, it's actually an overviewable job.
Okay, so and part of the deal with these franchisees is that, do they have a quota that they need to bring in more homes? Is there like a target? Because I imagine you want to grow the local.
That's right. Yeah, we want we're looking actually for good franchise partners. So if people actually are interested in doing a real good job in property management, get many homes on board, and really be very local. So that we can do all the rest for them, and we definitely want them to grow. Yeah, sure. And I think our main limitation to them is actually, if they don't want to grow, is that they won't have an exclusivity for the area at that stage. If they want to have 30 homes and do a real good job, we'd probably be happy with them. But I can't say like I give the whole area to them then at that stage. But if they want to grow with us, we tend to have 200, 250, 300 homes per office as a target.
Okay,
it depends, of course, where you are. Yeah.
And you go and visit them a lot? Is that the plan, that you know, or you hold their hands for a number of months and then you leave, or how does it work?
We actually have a system with the franchisees where they also help us in training others. So there's a rotation between them, an obligatory rotation between them. So they have to visit two weeks a year. They have to visit our offices, and 2 weeks a year they have to accept also other people. So there's an exchange in it. And we've spent a lot of time at the moment in making. We actually have a person called concept manager, and this concept manager actually makes sure the concept, everything in the concept works the same in every office. So it's a bit of McDonald's, as I said before. You shouldn't notice the difference if you're in our office, in the franchise office, and if you're in our office in Chamonix or our office in Alassio, it should actually be the same concept and the same way of working, the same welcome pack, and so on. And that's very important for me. Yeah. Super. So if you've tuned that out properly, well, yeah. So that's
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Let's talk about technology a little bit, because when you said India and opening an office in India, that's puzzling to me, because it's not easy, right? It's not an easy job. So you either, again, it's a question, you can either really fail on this because well, it's managing, you know, tech teams and quite far away, or you could be very, very successful at it. So tell me how that happened, because the PMS you've been building since 2007, you have 5 programmers in-house in Lugano, or is your tech team completely based in India?
Actually, this one is in Lugano. He's the guy who's there now since 12 years. So he's our programmer, the backbone of the whole system since the beginning. A very intelligent guy, and well, we built the thing together. I said what I wanted. He built it, as you know, with programmers. So it works fantastic. He's a real partner and a great guy. But he actually lives in Spain. So he actually lives down Malaga. And it's okay, he lives there because in the office he couldn't get anything done because it's too much busy, too much noise and vibes and everything. So he works from home. And in India we have 4 people working with him. So he actually works together with them, and they are all actually rooted from here. Actually, we have a person here in Lugano who actually tells the people what to do, what's the best to do actually, because we have a not programmer organizing the programmers.
Okay,
that's the thing.
That's the trick.
Front end people and back end people. That is the trick. Yeah. Because of course, if you're programming yourself, it's very hard to manage also others, and at the end you end up doing it all yourself. That's so yeah. That's and India happened because it happened, and I was looking for the situation since a long while, and as you know, it all starts with people, and we found a very good friend back from a long time ago who actually came to us, visit us, and said, I really want to go back into business. She has children, and she said, I want to open a back office, and we did it. And she's an amazing manager, because that's what you need. You need an amazing manager. Yeah. You don't need somebody to really understand the business or root them, tell them what to do every day, but because that we can do from here. Via Skype, but you have to have somebody who's really there, hiring the right people, get them all motivated, stay there, and
Okay.
Yep.
Wonderful. So the PMS, you said you built yourself because at the time in 2007 there was nothing around.
Right.
And now there's obviously lots of technology around. There's this debate: is the technology enterprise level enough? Okay, but anyway, you went down the route to create your own, and so that means updating it a lot, right? So tell me about maybe a few features that you're very proud of that helps you run your property management company.
Well, we are linked to the outside world, very importantly. So as you know, as you understand, we have, well, even the guy who makes it, he's far away from here. So he works from Spain. He built it to actually be able to be accessed. It's a big system, and you got little windows looking into the system. As you know, we have employees watching in. We have the financial guys looking into their sites. We have the owners looking into the websites, booking the wrong place, being able to do the payments, to see the payments actually they will receive. They're able to click on Pay Me Now, which is a very nice little button they love to click. That's why we actually allow them only every second month to actually click on it. Otherwise, my Dutch connationals will be clicking twice a day, I guess. So that's like a little button that they click, and actually payments goes automatically to our system. We pay the owners from there, and they can book their own house. They can change their own booking again. They can ask if they want bed linen or not, and they can ask many questions just via system. So we have little contact with the owners because of that system, actually. Now we have agents being able to book it as well, so they can actually go into the system and book houses directly online without having to contact the booking team. We have the booking team, of course, having their own visibilities as well. So and there's a lot of features about all the financial parts as well. As you know, when booking comes in, it has to explode into booking fees and cleaning fees and bed linen, and it has to go to the local offices. You have to go to the owner, and it's a lot of things happening there. So we have built in a whole financial system into the system as well. So it's a very complete system, actually. Yeah, still developing, as you know, it's developing like crazy because things always change and because we want to improve it. But it's we have also actually the guests have to actually link into the system to be able to get their road directions, which they normally need to get to the place. So actually to get the road directions, they have to put in their personal data, which then goes automatically to the police office. So we've automated all those things. Yeah. Wow. Also in Italy, there's another thing we have to do now. It's like a new thing since 2 years. We actually pay taxes on behalf of owners. So the owner gets an income of, let's say, 10,000 euros a year. We actually have to pay 2,100 euros of that to the tax offices. So there's more and more things coming to it, which actually is a nightmare on one side. You think, oh shit, something new. But on the other hand, it helps us because the more and more there are official things actually requested, the more and more we have an advantage to others who actually don't have the automation for that. And without automation, you really can't do it.
That's a very good point.
You'd need so many more people to do that, yeah.
Yeah, so it gives you a competitive advantage having built your own tech, correct?
Yeah.
And so what have you not built? One thing I imagine, distribution, do you connect to the big OTAs, or how does it work with marketing?
We indeed, we connect to the big ones, yeah, to all of them actually. We connect automatically, so calendars are updated automatically, prices are updated automatically. Not always texts and features of the houses. Sometimes yes, but not always. Where it's not, then we do it manually via India. Where it is, then we don't have a problem with it. We are looking into actually getting external help as well for linking to more parties, because there's more and more parties out there. The big ones, the big four, big five, they take the biggest part of the market. But it's very interesting to be also with the other ones. I think it's very interesting to be there ourselves, and it's very interesting to have smaller agents, local agents, to book with us. We have some real good agents who book with us, and why not enlarge that? So to get some give some visibility to for me, for us, we don't really care where the booking comes from. We just want the houses to be full and booked and everything. That's a real thing. And also, as you know, the new thing which is coming up now, we saw that also in the in the conference we were lately. The price optimization is very important now, so the price has to be variable. We change the prices every day now. So every day our price of all the houses changed online. We have different discount schemes where owners agree upon, and then with those schemes, we actually are able to fill places, because occupancy is the most important thing. It doesn't matter to me where the booking comes from. That's completely irrelevant.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do your own yield. You have your own yield management system.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well done. Okay. Right. We are talking a lot, and I don't want to go over the time, although it is very interesting. But I would like to talk to you for a last question before we do a quick true and false. What are your thoughts on where the industry is going next year, and how do you fit into it?
Well, I think on rentals there'll be more and more on the rental part that we have seen a humongous change in the last 5 years. We used to get inquiries before from HomeAway. We used to get like 100, 150 a day of inquiries. We stopped getting them. We get bookings now from HomeAway, also from other people. And I think there's going to be there's been a lot of consolidation there. There'll be big moves still. I think, well, as you know, Booking is going very strong. Airbnb is going very strong. HomeAway, I don't really know. I don't really follow, but we give them less money now than before, so I don't know how they're doing, but we used to pay them more before when they did the marketing for us and give us inquiries. But we see less movement from that side, let's say. And well, there's a lot of consolidation there. On the property management part, there's so much to do, because what we actually try to do is not rent places which are rented. I don't really care about place which is rented now. It's not our home. Our home is a place which is now closed. The owner is using it, as you know, 10 days a year, maybe 20 days a year, often obligatory use, because he has to go there, because otherwise the house will even go more in a bad shape. So those are our homes, actually. Open. We say cold, warm beds, actually. Warm, cold beds. So actually the cold beds now, which are a nightmare for villages. We did a research with a ski resort, actually in Switzerland. They found out that properties are used 12 days a year by owners. So it's really nothing. So places are like closed all the time, which is very sad for the area, sad for the neighbors too, sad for the ski resorts, for the lifts, for the restaurants and everything. So that's our real target, to open offices with houses which are now actually closed. That's
how many franchises are you going to have next year?
15.
15? Opening
right.
15. Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you Spain, or where's your main target?
We're mainly looking around where we are at the moment. So we're in the areas where we're now. That's we want to expand around where we are now. So yeah, Spain is very interesting as well. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, let's move on to the game show. Quick true false.
Yes.
So I ask you a question and you say true or false. Okay. So the vacation rental industry will topple the hotel industry next year.
False.
Voice activated travel assistants are a must.
False.
Google will become the only OTA.
False as well.
Consolidation in the tech industry is bad for property managers. In the tech industry.
It's false as well.
Consolidation of property management companies is bad for guests.
That's false as well. I think it's quite good. Yeah.
Am I going to get a true in one?
No.
Wait a minute. Vacation rental growth in urban areas will continue despite regulations.
I think it's false as well.
You have to invest in technology because guests' needs are changing.
That's true. There you go.
Yeah, we got one.
Yeah, I got one.
Come on. Keyless locks are a must.
Sorry? Keyless locks are locked. No, it's not true. No.
US brands will have a hard time implementing in Europe.
That's true.
And last question, when space travel becomes available, you'll open a franchise there.
We're looking. I have a universal manager at the moment now already, so he's looking into all that. Yeah,
Very
that'd be
good.
great. Yeah,
Muy bien,
good.
muy bien. Well, it was great having you. Thanks so much for your time. And congratulations on your business.
Thank you very much.
And I'll see you around. Thanks so much.
Okay. Thank you
Cheers.
very much, then. Ciao.
Take care. Bye bye.
Ciao. Bye bye.